Hi everyone, it's me Gabriel Steven, and I want to do a video explanation on a project I worked on. It's a it's a credit card customer attrition analysis that I did with Python, and I'm going to take us through the analysis and make us understand it better. Yeah, I'm going to take us through the analysis and make us understand it better. And like I said, it's a bank credit card customer attrition analysis, and what that means is there is a particular bank that offers credit card service, but then some of their customers are leaving or stop using the credit card service, and the bank is kind of worried. They give a data analyst to know why, or what could be the reason why they churned the credit card service or attrited credit card service. And maybe in the data analyst, I have to like do the analysis. This is not a real um this is not a real and this is not a real data set. It's a data set that I got from KAGGLE, but then I'm just telling a story so we can understand it better. So it won't look as though I'm exposing or feeding out the main data of a bank for a project, that kind of thing. So back to the analysis I was explaining. I I'm doing this analysis so we can know the why these customers stop using the service. So just like every other analysis, we have to import the necessary libraries like pandas, seaborn, matplotlib, you know. So I I imported the data frame. I imported the CSV file for the data frame, and then I checked everything by calling the head of the data frame, and then you can see our data frame over here. But then you can see that we can see all the old columns. So the next thing to do is to set the option to display the maximum column, so we can check everything. Doing this basically means we have to check every metric that could lead us to a possible reason or a possible cause for why these customers churned the organization, or perhaps why these customers are treated the credit card service for the bank. So the next thing to do is to start data manipulation. Data manipulation actually has to do with cleaning the data, and making sure the data is pre-processed for the right exploratory data analysis, because of course we can't get the right data analysis if our data is kind of wobbly and not in the right form or format. So the first thing I did was to check the list of columns, because of course that's where we'll be getting our metrics from. And I noticed that there are some columns that are not in the right form, and kind of like not okay. Just like the first one, the client's number, which looks kind of odd from the rest of the column because of his is actually in uppercase. So the first thing I did was to like change it to a proper title, and then give it the normal uh, uh, capitalization and everything. And also I changed the name of some columns for more clarity. And then after, if we check the new columns now, we can see that everything is in place now. Everything is appropriate. But then checking the columns, we see that there are so many columns, and that doesn't mean we'll use all the columns. So why can't we just exclude the ones we won't be using, and leave only the ones we'll be using? So that's what I did next. I had to drop the unnecessary columns, and checking this list of columns, I can see that there are just three that I don't think will be necessarily pointing at a direction. Columns like the average utilization ratio, the total count change quarter 4 to quarter 1, the total amount change quarter 4 to quarter 1. These columns are not really going to be pointing to any direction. So the best thing to do is just to drop them and make do with the necessary ones, and that is exactly what I did. And before, initially we had 21 columns, but after dropping the unnecessary ones, now we have 18 columns, and we have 10,000 rows, which basically points us at 10,000 clients that we will be analyzing. So and I was able to get that by checking the shape of the data frame. So the next thing to do is to check the information of the data frame. Checking the info basically means we check if there are null values, if the columns are in the right data frame, in the sorry, if the columns are in the right data type. So luckily for us, there are no null values, and luckily again for us, the data are in their right data type. So we won't be doing any change with that. So with that, we can see that our data frame is kind of okay for an exploratory data analysis. And of course, that's what I did next, you know was to start the exploratory data analysis. To start the exploratory data analysis, firstly I had to split the main data frame into two parts, because of course we are interested in the attrited customers and the ones that are existing. So the first thing to do is to split the data frame into those two important parts, which is to split them to the existing data, the existing customer data frame and the attrited customers data frame. So the attrited contains customers that are treated the credit card service for the bank, and the existing are the ones that are still making use of the credit card service for the bank. So now we have two data frames that we'll be analyzing. The attrited one, checking the shape, we see that we have 1627 entries, which indicates that we have 1627 customers that are treated the credit card service for the bank. And also that left us with 8,500 entries for the existing data frame, which points that we have 8,500 customers that are existing and currently using the credit card service for the bank. So but then the bank is quite interested in knowing why these 1682 individuals churned the bank. Why are these individuals no longer interested in using the credit card service for the bank? That is what we are kind of interested in. So we have to dive deeper into the analysis to get the whys. So the next thing to do is to make use of the next metric, which is the income per annum for our customers. For this, I had to use I had to check the income per annum for the main data frame, which is the combination of the existing and the attrited customers. So checking that, I had to check that using value count. So the value count pointed that most of our customers, we have most of our customers earning less than 40k per annum. And I also did a visualization to point out that for a fact most of our customers earn less than 40k per annum. So this also led me to doing the same analysis or the same visualization with the existing customers and the attrited customers. Fortunately, it turned out that both the existing and attrited customers, most of them earn less than 40k per annum. So that on its own is something we should keep in our in our database, in our memory database. So but before I go on, I have to clarify something, that this analysis has to be split into two places. It has to be split. They have to be like a social analysis and a transactional analysis, which I like to call the socio-economical analysis altogether. So doing this, what this means is there are different reasons that can cause these individuals to stop using the credit card service for the bank. A social cost could be a reason, and an economical cost or a transactional cost could be a reason, but it has to fall under one of those two places. So now we are working on the social cost, and the social cost led us to make an analysis on to know how much these individuals earn per annum, and we are able to say that okay, most of our customers earn less than 40k per annum. So the next thing to do now is to check is to check is to check the age for these attrited customers. you know someone will ask that, is there a need to check the age? Of course, we are doing a social analysis, so checking the age of the customers that churned, or sorry, attrited the credit card service for the bank is kind of very important to get our points right. So from checking the age, we did just like we did for the income per annum. We also did the value count for the customer age, for our treated customers, the age of our treated customers, and we can see that most of them are from the ages of 30, because you see that from the ages of 30 to 59, we have so many of our customers within that range. From age 30, we have 15 customers that are of the age of 30, and calculating that all the way to 59, we can see that most of our customers are within the age bracket of 30 to 59. I wrote 37 here, but in fact I should have wrote 30, because of course most of them are from the ages of 30 to 59. What this connotes is that these individuals are matured individuals. These individuals are not teenagers, they are not kids, they are not youngins, they are not people that they are matured individuals that most likely have families, most likely are married, most likely are they are getting their life together. So we have to we have to put this in mind also, that the customers that churn this service are individuals that are of the or they are individuals that we call mature, that we can call mature. So diving deep into the analysis also, we have to know if these individuals have dependents. Having dependents in the sense that they have people that depend on them, like children or whatever. Most likely we'll use children. So so that is exactly what we'll do. We are concerned about our treated customers. We are concerned about our treated customers, so most of our analysis will be done for them. So now we want to know the initially I checked the unique the count of the unique dependents for our treated customers, and I saw that we have a list between 0 to 5. It's either they have no dependent or they have up to 5 dependent. So if we are using Seaborn and Matplotlib for that, and we're able to come up with the fact that most of our treated customers have 2 to 3 dependents. What this connotes again, but this also buttress our points that these matured individuals who earn less than 40k per month, who earn less than 40k per annum, also have dependents. They also have people that are depending on them. So they are just an average matured individuals who have dependents. What this connotes also is that they are matured. They have things that bother them. They have bills to pay. They have doing regular matured individual things, and these are not kids that are just living life the way it comes. These are individuals that are matured. So the next thing to do on the social analysis also is to check their marital status. Firstly, we checked the marital status of our existing customers, and we saw that most of our existing customers are married. Because we have 46.8% of them that are married, while 38.5% of them are single. So most of the majority of them are married. So we also did the same analysis on the attrited customers, and we found out that 43.6% of them are married, 41.1% of them are single. So we can say this is 50-50. We can also put this as, because we are interested in is either they are married or they are single. We are not interested in maybe they are divorced, or their marital status is unknown. We are literally interested in whether they are married or single, and we can say that it's 50-50. So we can't say marriage is a factor for them joining the organization, because of course most of our existing customers are married and they are still existing with us. But on the other hand, the attrited customers is splitted 50-50. So marriage can be a factor for why they join the organization. Of course, it could be a little, it could be little, it could be a factor, but it's going to be very, 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 very minimal. So all this basically is they're just buttressing the points that the individuals who joined the organization are mature individuals, regular American families, that have 2 to 3 dependent individuals. This analysis just give us a mental picture of who these individuals are primarily. That's what the social analysis did. Unfortunately, the social analysis didn't really point to a direction as to why these individuals joined the organization. Rather, it just gave us a mental picture of who they are. So since we can't really get the whys for them joining the organization from the social analysis, I guess we have to move to the economical part of the analysis, which is the transactional analysis. And then doing the transactional analysis means we have to work with the transactions. We have to create a credit report for the attrited and the existing customers. Firstly, we created a variable called credit report, which contains the credit reports basically of our treated customers. We have metrics like the credit limit, the total revolving balance, and the average open to buy, the total transaction count. These are what are entailed, or these are what are contained in the credit report for the attrited customers. So if we check everything over here, we see that we are basically not really worried with their credit limit. All we are after now is the total revolving balance and the average open to buy, because of course this is going to point to a direction to us. So firstly, we did a value count for the total revolving. First of all, let's understand what the total revolving balance means. The total revolving balance can also be known as the current balance. In a credit card, is either you have a credit balance. Is either you have a current balance or you have an available balance. The current balance is how much you owe your credit provider, and the available balance is how much you have open to spend or utilize. So when we check the total revolving balance for our treated customers, we see that there are some that have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You see, what this 0 entails is that they do not owe the bank anything. They do not owe the bank anything, and of course, you can see that their credit limit is the same with the available to buy, which means they've not touched their credit limits. They've not touched their available balance, and they do not owe the bank. But yet they churned the credit card service for the bank. So we can't really make a judgment call until we check the value count to know how many of these individuals do not for a fact owe the bank. So to do that, we have to like do a value count for this, and then doing the value count, we saw that 893 of the 1627 individuals do not owe the bank. Wow, that is insightful. That's more than half. 893 893 from the 1627 individuals that churned or treated the credit card do not owe the bank. They do not owe at all. That's insightful. But then our existing customers, how many of them do not owe the bank? We have to do that too. That led us to creating a credit report for our existing customers, and that's what I did here as well. I created a credit report too, which contains the credit report for our existing customers. And then if we check their current balance, we saw that of the 8,500 customers, just 1,577 of them do not owe the bank. Wow, that's leaving us with 6,923 of them actually owing the bank. We can't say they owe the bank actually, because they are still existing customers. We can only say they owe the bank if they are treated. These individuals are treated customers, then we can say for a fact that yes, they owe the bank. But we can't say our existing customers owe us, because of course they are still involved in the system. They could pay up their debts the next day and still continue using the service, and because of course we have some that don't hold the bank but they are still existing customers. So also we have individuals who owe us and also are still actively involved in making use of the credit card service of the bank. So what this basically connotes now is that of the treated customers, more than half of them do not hold the bank. If more than half of them do not hold the bank, unless we can't say it's less, but then if more than half of these individuals do not owe the bank, that connotes the fact that these individuals churned or treated the bank on their own free will. They do not want to be involved in the use of credit card. They are done with using credit card. They just want to make use of their regular, probably they just want to make use of their regular banking and pay their bills the normal way, without making use of their credit or the credit card. They just want to be individuals without credit debt. So that's the majority, and that's the majority of the theory. Yeah. Also, that doesn't mean because most of them do not hold the bank, we have to forget the fact that 734 of them actually hold the bank. Because if we check, let's not check the head now. Let's just check everything. Oh, I already changed I already reset the option to the normal way. If not, it would have shown everything, and then we'll be able to see. Okay, let me just do it again. So to rerun the cells, everything. Okay, so here is this is what I'm talking about over here. You can see that we have 893 individuals that do not hold the bank, but that doesn't mean others do not hold the bank. We can see that there are some people that owe. There are some people that owe $154. They owe different amounts, up to 2,000 plus. There are people that owe us a lot over here. We even have some people that owe us up to $2,517. You know, people are owing different amounts over here, but then we're interested in people that do not owe, because of course they are the majority over here. So let me reset the display option. So check with the head. I don't want it to be clustered and everything. That's why I just had to restrict it to only the head, because of course the head points out the majority of the customers that do not hold. So now back to the analysis. If we can split. I have a theory over here that we can go through, but then I'm going to just explain everything. So if 893 from the 1,627 individuals do not actually owe us, that means these individuals actually left at their own free will. They left because they do not want to get involved in anything that has to do with credit card usage. So these individuals that churned the organization now are splitted into two parts. There are individuals that left because they do not want to get involved in with credit card usage. They don't want to get involved with using the credit card. It doesn't want to be normal individuals that spend their they pay their bills the normal way, not by using their credit card. There's some set of them, 893. Is it 893 of them? Yeah, 893 of them do not, they chose this path, while also taking in account that 734 of them actually made use of, or actually also make use of the credit card. They believe in making use of the credit card, but also left out of probably so many other reasons. Not enough metric to point out the specifics for why, sorry, not while. There are not enough metric to point out the specifics for why these 734 individuals actually stopped using the bank. So we have to we have to use the theory of majority rule. The theory of majority rule states that in a group, the majority that leads in a group actually are the one that leads. That's what the theory of majority rule means. And if you're also using the theory of majority rule here, that means you can generalize that the individuals, since more than half of them left because out of free will, because they do not want to make use of the credit card for whatever reasons they chose, we have to feel all of them. We have to make the majority rule here and say all the individuals that churned the organization churned because they do not want to make use of credit card for their day-to-day transaction anymore, and they just want to pay with their normal banking system, and pay with cash, and the likes. So that's basically my analysis for why they churned the organization. So also I came up with a solution that can solve customers from churning the organization. If we check over here, over this angle here, you can see my solution bar over here, which states that the primary solution is reorientation. Of course, before they made use of the credit card, they must have been oriented to know how credit card works and everything. But then we have to spend some particular amount of money to reorientate our customers on how to actually make use of their credit card. They shouldn't use their credit card when not necessary. They should only make use of credit card when it's extremely necessary for them to. And making use of credit card actually helps them, because of course if we explain and give them the the need for them to make use of their credit card. It will also reduce the way they see things, and it will also reduce them churning the organization. So reorientation is a very vital step for us to curb the attrition rates of our customers, because if we do not make use of this reorientation technique, we can have from our 8,500 customers, more of them churning the organization, or churning or attriting the credit card service for the bank. So we have to make use of this reorientation technique, and one of the ways of making use of this reorientation technique is by creating advertisements, or probably meeting them directly, because of course we must have a database that contains vital information of our customers, like their phone numbers and their email addresses. So we can just send them personal email addresses that reorientates them on the necessity for them to make use of their credit card in the right way. And also we can also introduce incentives to them. There's a point system. If the more they make use of their credit card, the more points they get, and if their points reach a certain level, there's a reward they can get. It's a win-win for both parties, because it makes our customers more engaged in using their credit card, and it also gives them the notion that they are expecting something from using, from acquiring enough points. Can give them a discount, we can whatever, different incentives. There are so many incentives, but basically the primary solution is to reorientate them, because if we just leave them to make things happen on default without taking any action, we are just primarily shooting ourselves in the leg. So that's all I have to say. Now, if you have any contribution or recommendation, I would be so happy to learn new things. Thank you for listening to me, and stay tuned for my next explanation. Thank you.